Hey, so I am just like sitting here basking and just in the goodness of God and how amazing He is. And I love to be in His presence. I love to walk with Him. I love to talk with Him. I love to just to have my being in Him and all of who He is. So He just blew my mind, like totally blew my mind. So I'm at the Home Depot. And about a week ago, I'm gonna share this quick testimony, just how good He is. Like just like the little things that He does, just like I'm thinking about you, I got you, and you're on my mind. He's so good. He's so good to me. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. He just I'm in the market for a garage door, right? And so, and I've already priced over the last few months. I've been price checking and looking at garage doors, and so I was like in my head. I told the Lord, I prayed about this. I was like, God, I want to, I want to get a garage door installed because this is the assignment that I've got that needs to be done, and I want to pay $600, right? For installation and the garage door, $600, right? And so last week I was heading out, and then I hold the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Lord said, go to Home Depot. And it was one Home Depot that I went to, and I went to, I had to take some stuff back, and I went there, and then I got the price on a garage door, and it came out to be like $800 or $900 something dollars. And that's with a discount, like a 15% discount. And I was like, and I didn't want to, I was a little bit too much out of my budget, and I was willing to pay. And so got a credit, did a credit check with the lady that was there, and wasn't able, credit is bad. Like if anybody stole my credit, they would just make it better. So I'm working on that now. That's something we're working on now, he and I. So, but nonetheless, didn't get approved to get, to afford the financing for the garage door. So I leave there, and I was like, well, I'm going to come back as I heard the Lord say, go to Home Depot. And so I was like, well, maybe this isn't because the door isn't opening. So I just, I left it as it was, just believing that I would be back before the 15% is over. And then, you know what? I go to Lowe's today and find that they had a garage door that, apples to apples, but it really wasn't the one that I was going to settle. And they had one on sale, I think, within a budget, like the best that he could give me with no paneling or anything like that was like, I think I'm putting the numbers here because I marked them down right here. But the best that they could do at, Home Depot was like $682 at the lowest cost. And so I was heading over to Panera Bread, and I happened to see this Home Depot. And so instead of going into Panera, I decided to just check out Home Depot because I felt like I got a really good deal with Lowe's, right? And they just had me pay, the come out to measurement cost, which was $35. So felt like I got a really good deal, but just one last chance. I wanted to check Home Depot and see and compare their costs and just shoot the breeze. And so I went in there, and they were able to quote me best deal with no haul away for like $691 for the door that I wanted. And then another one was like $624 for the door that I was compromising on. And then if I got a military discount and all that stuff, it would have been less. It would be less as well. So, and that's with no haul away. So the one with Lowe's, they had a haul away. But what's so interesting, the young man that I was working with, he was like, yeah, they'll give you a military discount on top of the $691. And I was like, okay, cool. And he wasn't certain, but I wasn't certain either, because the other lady at the first Home Depot, she told me that they would only do the 15% off, and you have to take one discount or another, right? Or the other. You either do 10% or the 15% off. So you couldn't combine them. That's what the lady told me. So when this new associate was telling me, he was like, no, you can get the military discount on top of that. I was like, are you sure? And I was questioning, and and he was like, no, I saw them honor that they would do that. So I went with his word. And so we went to the front, and of course, he printed out, he gave me $691, the one that I was going to go with something that was cheaper, but I decided to stay with the paperwork instead. But when he quoted $691, they didn't do the military discount at the counter. And then a manager got involved, and And he was like, well, no, we're not going to do the military discount. But I don't know. I didn't even try to talk it or try to manipulate anything. I was just like, okay, no problem. And then, and I was just like, well, this is what Lowe's is offering. And this is what and he was asking the questions. And then before I knew it, the manager who was not going to give me the military discount and just and just, have me pay like a percentage off, a certain percentage off. I was just, before I knew it, he was like, well, what are they doing? And what is Lowe's doing? And blah, 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 blah. And what is Home Depot doing? Well, I'm sorry, what is Lowe's doing is what he was asking. And I was like, well, this is the numbers I get with Lowe's, which is cheaper. If I got it with you guys, it would be $621 with the military discount, blah, 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 blah. And if I got it with Lowe's, it would be like $647 with the military discount. And then the man just was like, I'm going to just forget all of it. And I was like, that's with Holloway and no Holloway. And then all of a sudden he was just like, I'm going to give it to you for $600. Oh my God. I was like, are you kidding me? And the store sales manager, because both of the guys that I was working with, the ones at Lowe's and the one that I was dealing with at Home Depot, I was like, my budget is $600. That's what I'm trying to, and just based on everybody that I've called and everybody that I just spoke to, the $600 was impossible by man's standards based of that, and I'm just like, when that man just said $600, I was like, God, you were so amazing. It just blew my mind. It took me back to my original conversation with the Lord and how he just decided to bless me. And he didn't have to do that, like, just to honor my word and my, and just what I was saying and what my desire was, like, to honor that. He did not have to do that, and he did. Like, he gave me more. He gave me enough to cover, what they were asking, but I would have to sacrifice in other areas. But you see that? I don't know if you can see that beautiful sky, like that beautiful sunlight out here. You can look out here. That is just gorgeous. It's like a nice reminder of the goodness of God and who he is. And so I just had to put that out there, y'all, how good it is to be in the spirit, to practice living in the presence of God day in and day out. And it goes back to, like, his original thing was like, he told me to go to Home Depot. And I was like, wow, it got the 15% off. And I was excited at that, because I didn't check any ads or anything like that. But I was excited just to see the Home Depot had 15% off, of the garage doors from when I first checked. And then I didn't go to the first Home Depot, but I wound up going to the second Home Depot. And he honored my word and my original plan. And here it is at $600. And I got what I want. And it's not at the, and it's not compromising. I got what I want, and it's at the $600 rate, not at $842, which is what which is what the first lady had quoted me at the other Home Depot. So I am so grateful and just so thankful at how all things do work together for the good of them who love the Lord and who are the called according to his purpose. So I just wanted to take a moment to give God some glory and just, like, worship him and tell y'all how good he is and how rich he is and how wonderful it is just to dwell in his presence day in and day out, and to live and to dwell in his spirit, to be led by the spirit in everything that we do. It's not meant to just meet with him in the morning and be like, okay, Lord, guide throughout my day. But we were designed to meal with him all the time, to be in our head with him, to be in our mind with him, to be in our spirit, to his spirit, to dwell with our mind, and to live. We're meant to live, move, and have our being. So even when I was comparing these costs, I'm gonna show y'all. Look, $600, y'all. $600. I don't know if you could see that, but what does that say? $600. Plain is English. And the other quote, all these other quotes I was getting, what? $682. That was a huge quote. But the original with Home Depot, okay, yes, $600 paid for, cash paid for. God is so good. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good. Paid for, out. And the other one at the other Home Depot was $800. I think that's just the best price that I could get, at good. And I'm just like, you're so good to me. He's so good that he would honor that today. And And then when I was at Lowe's, I was still kind of like a little confused. I don't know. I was still trying to pray about it. And I wasn't praying. I was just like praying, like, should I go home with this? But, originally, I forgot to mention, when I left my house today, the Lord told me to grab an envelope, to grab this money, this particular money, this envelope of money that I had. And, that I was going to get my garage doors. And I thought I was going to get them through Lowe's today after my teaching, after my training. But I wound up going to Home Depot second time and finding the deal that I wanted, and him just honoring that. And I have a peace. There's no peace like the peace we get from God. There's no peace. Whosoever will, Mark 11:23. Whosoever will. Whoever shall say to this mountain, first of all, have faith in God, period. But whoever shall say to this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea, and believe in their heart and don't doubt, you shall have what you say. If you believe what you say, you shall have what you say at the end. And I thank God for it, because I'm moved, and in him I live, move, and have my being, and I'm moved by the Spirit. I'm led by the Spirit. Spirit first, soul second, and then the body follows suit, because the spirit is always willing, but the flesh is weak. So it is my goal to practice living in the presence of God every day in all of my decisions and what I say and what I do, and operating in his kingdom on a daily basis, even in stuff like this. And it's just, he's faithful to us. He's so good to us, even in the so whats. He's so good to us. So I had to get up there and share this story, this testimony.